guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of New York. This is season 14, episode 11. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So I'm going to just be honest before we get into it. I'm tired. It's been a long day. And I watched the episode last night. And I kind of didn't really take notes, so I'm just going to probably talk about what stood out to me. If I'm going to be honest, both Uhah and Erin annoyed the hell out of me throughout this whole entire episode. And even Jenna, like I was disappointed in Jenna, if I'm being honest. But I was just like, ugh. And for them to be like, we had a great trip. This trip was lame. And I don't want to compare the other girls to them, but the other girls had fun. Those ladies were in their 50s and 60s and was turning it up, getting drunk, running around the house naked, having fun. Like, this was a therapy session. They're gonna have to work on that. When they come back, they are gonna have to work on that. But the episode opens up where it left off, where we got Erin and Uhah going back and forth. Uhah done snatched the glasses off of Erin's face. Erin is horrified and visibly upset, and it's understandable. That, honestly, like I told y'all in the last review, had I been Erin, I probably would have popped Uhah in the mouth. Like, I'd have mushed the hell out of her because, ma'am, don't touch me. We're in an argument. We're not cool like that right now. Do not do that to me. And I get Uhah being like, you're going to look me in my eyes when we're having a conversation. And it is a sign of respect to do that. But, ma'am, y'all are not in a good place. So why would you think she would give you that type of respect? Like, you're asking for too much. So Erin is like, Uhah, give me back my glasses. And Ubah's like, girl, how long did you have my phone? 45 minutes. You'll get your glasses back in 45 minutes. And Erin is about, she's trying to muster up a tear, but it's not coming. It's not coming, okay? And so everyone's trying to calm both of the ladies down. Uhah goes outside and she's trying to calm herself down. Erin is like, that's not okay. And it wasn't okay. Even though I don't see it for Erin, I get her being upset and feeling some type of way. And so they all pile into these kind of I thought they looked like doom buggies, but I guess that's the wrong car. But they were not even mopeds, because mopeds is the bike. I guess I call it a street car. I don't know. But they're really colorful. It's kind of a beach car, kind of just going throughout Anguilla and going to where they're supposed to go, which is supposed to be to a rum. They said a rum tour. I feel like I heard someone say a rum tour, but they ended up at a bar, at a rum bar. So I was just kind of okay, that's not really a tour, because I've been on a tequila tour when I went to Mexico. But they sit down, everyone piles in the car. So you got Bryn, Jessel, and Uhah in one car. Bryn telling Uhah, girl, I know you mad, but please don't kill us, because they say when you drive when you're angry, you're more prone to an accident. And then you have in the other car Sai, Jenna, and Erin. And Erin is complaining about not having her glasses. And like I said, Uhah told Erin, you get these glasses back in 45 minutes, just how you had my phone for 45 minutes. So Jenna, and like I said in the beginning, Jenna disappointed me because it felt like she was being Erin's lackey. And I'm like, why are you helping someone who had everybody jumping down your throat the first night y'all were there? And who was also in on everyone jumping down your throat. So I was just like, Jenna, okay. And she was trying, to me, it felt like Jenna was trying too hard to prove her friendship to Erin. And I'm like, who is Erin to do all of this for? But okay. So Jenna gets out the car and she tries to go to Ubah's car. And she's like, can you give her back her glasses? And Ubah's looking at Jenna like, girl, get back in your car. She'll get these glasses in 45 minutes. I'm like, girl, get back in your car. It's whatever. No, get out my face, Jenna. And so Jenna gets back in the car and she tells her yeah, she says she gonna hold on to your glasses for 45 minutes. And Erin's like, she's such a bee. And I'm like, okay, girl, she's such a bee. And you are one too. So They finally get to the rum place, and like I said, it's a beach bar. So they're there at the beach bar. We meet the owner. His name is Elvis. He has like I guess he makes his own rum, and he has like this. I think he was like it was like Bailey, cinnamon, and something else. It looked like it probably tasted really good, and he forgot to give Jessel a glass, and so Jessel was like, "Hey man, like I ain't get no glass." And then Bryn in her confessional was talking about how Jessel is forgettable, and I find that funny coming from Bryn because I think Bryn is forgettable, to be honest. And then Sai decided to get behind the bar because we found out that she used to be a bartender when she was younger, and she started giving everybody shots of Fireball. I love Fireball. Okay, a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. I love cinnamon candy, like hot tamales and big red gum. I love it. If you want a drink that is good, but it's like you can only drink it like maybe like one or two times before it's lights out. It's Fireball black and rum. So crack. I always use crack and black rum, but there's other black rums. Mix that with Fireball and you can do 100% cranberry juice or the different variation like the cran apple and all that stuff. Mix that together. It's delicious. But Sai and Bryn were the ones that say they find Jessel to be forgettable because, like I said, Sai had jumped behind the bar, and when she did that, she was handing out the shots and she forgot to give Jessel one, or maybe Uba took it. I don't know, because Sai was like, Jessel, I tried to give you one, but they both kind of made comments about Jessel being forgettable. And like I said, I find Bryn to be forgettable as well as Sai. Like when I think of Real Housewives of New York, especially this version of it, the three people that come to mind is Erin, because Erin's been in everybody. She's been gotten into it with everybody. She's been the pot stirrer, the mess starter this whole entire season. Jessel's kind of been like everybody's target of like having some critique to say, but she's also had funny one-liners, the not yacht cackling hags. Ooh girl, I hope your mama's ashes are in a Hermes bag, not a Walmart bag. Like she's had moments. And then Jenna, and honestly, if Jenna was just regular Jenna, I would say she was the most forgettable. But because Jenna is Jenna Lyons, and I took time to figure out who she was because I saw so many people talking about her and saying how they were interested in seeing like who she was. I was like, oh okay, like who is this person? So it's kind of just funny coming from them. And then I saw somebody online try to compare Bryn to Blanche Devereaux. And girl, I am a millennial who stands the Golden Girls. Ain't no way. Like Bryn does not exude that type of like sexual energy that I feel like Blanche Devereaux did. And I saw somebody talk about how like Luann is like Luann, we knew Luann got around, okay? Luann didn't even have to say how she got around, but Luann got around, and her energy, that sexual energy she oozed, it was like, yeah, that lady be doing things. Bryn, it just kind of feels like it's put on. But we find out later in the episode that like she learned like if she's flirty or she's doing this, she got a lot farther in life or a lot farther in like getting what she wanted. So she just leaned into it. The only thing about Bryn leaning into it is I feel like she don't know when to back up out of it. Cause after a while it just comes off obnoxious and desperate. Like it's just kind of like, ma'am, like calm down. Please calm down. So it's just like it's off-putting after a while, and it's annoying. And then Sai, I don't know, I just find Sai trying so hard to be unbothered and cool, it just doesn't go for her. I feel as though, like I said before in like one of my reviews, I think Sai thought she was gonna be the like in charge of the girls. Shout out to Funky Daniva, like you in charge of the girls. Like I think she thought she was going to be that, and she's not. Like it's just kind of like, girl, like I feel like Sai wants to center herself as like the anchor of the group, and it just doesn't translate. And then the whole like I don't care, I didn't care. It's off-putting after a while. But next thing you know, you hear a phone alarm go off. So the 45 minutes is up for Uhah. So up for, like, Erin to get her glasses back. Uhah tries to give the glasses to Erin. Erin pretty much says she don't want them if Uhah touched them. And like I said, Jenna was given very much lackey this episode because she grabbed me. She's like, here you go. And Erin's like, thank you, Jenna. Thank you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so they started to go back and forth about, Uhah snatching the glasses off of her face. And which Uhah shouldn't have, at that point, Uhah should have apologized. Cause like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't have did all of that. But Ubah's like, yeah, I did it and I'll do it again type of energy. She then talks about, like, they then start going back and forth because Bryn tries to interject and be like, come on, you guys are like really close, y'all shouldn't be fighting like this. And Ubah's like, girl, why are you jumping in when she said you was a social climber and y'all fight every 2 seconds? And so Bryn is like, when did she call me a social climber? And they do a flashback to they do a flashback, and Bryn is just like, okay, like, I didn't know you called me that. Erin's like, I called you that. And Bryn's like, no, girl, I don't remember you calling me that. And they're like, all right. And then it made me look at Ubah like, yeah, Ubah, I wouldn't trust Ubah if I told her anything, because when it's mad day, oh, Ubah gonna let the chopper sing. She gonna let the chopper sing. So next thing you know, Erin gets frustrated. She gets upset and she tries to leave the bar. Jenna's the only person that follows behind her because nobody like really cares, and it's like Erin has pretty much rubbed everybody the wrong way, so I don't think any of the other ladies at the table were gonna rush after her. So Jenna's outside trying to console Erin. They come back into the beach bar, but they go into a different side. They're trying to talk, the other ladies are trying to talk to Ubah, and Ubah's pretty much like, nah, like, I'm not apologizing. I'm not sorry. It is what it is. She just gonna have to take it for what it is. Ubah's like, Erin be doing all this stuff and getting away with it because don't nobody check her. And at this point, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. So the ladies get up like they're gonna go and leave the bar, but then there was other patrons at the bar that was like, oh, y'all want to play limbo. So they started limbo, and Erin is like seething at the bar, pissed that nobody other than Jenna came to check on her, and the other girls are like having fun and she's not. We then see Jenna and Erin try to play they had like this humongous version of Connect Four, but like, it looked lame. So when the ladies are leaving the beach bar, Jenna ends up telling Sai, like, girl, why did someone say that I looked like I was Bryn's mom? And Jenna's like, I'm old, but I'm not that old. I was like, you act old, girl. Like the ladies from the earlier seasons, they have fun. Like, that's one thing you couldn't take away from them ladies. They did not care that they were like in their 50s and 60s. They said, girl, we gonna turn up wherever we go. Jenna would be so boring in that group of ladies. She might have got along with Carol. Possibly was gonna get into it. She probably would have definitely got into it with Bethany. But like, she would not know how to act around Ramona, Sonia, Dorinda, or Luann. Especially when they got drunk. But they leave the bar. So, like I said, they're at their next destination. They're sitting down to eat lunch, and Erin goes and she changes her outfit. So, everyone's sitting down at the table, and they're trying to get Ubah to like see where she was wrong in taking the glasses off of Erin's face, and also trying to make amends with Erin. And Ubah's just kind of like, girl, leave me alone. Leave me alone. And Sai was just like, I'm trying to play peacemaker. And at this point, I was starting to get annoyed with everybody. Everybody except Jessel, because Jessel really wasn't saying too much other than clocking the fact that Erin seems to be the common denominator when it comes to everybody getting into it. Like, everyone coming at Jenna was Erin's fault because she told them that she said she didn't want to fly coach. Then her making assumptions about Jessel's life and saying that she's a princess and all of this, accusing her of living this privileged life, then accusing Bryn of lying. So it's pretty much like Erin seems to truly be the issue in the group. So they're sitting down and Sai is trying to get them to make amends. Everybody wants Uba to like see the error of her ways. Sai is talking about like, Sai is trying to call herself correcting Uba, and I was glad that Uba told her, don't jump in unless you like, when you jump in, it makes me want to correct you. And then Sai got quiet because it's like, yeah, like you can jump into conversations, but what I've learned is if you gonna play peacemaker, you also have to be prepared for the people that you're trying to make peace for to be mad at you, because sometimes you just need to sit one out. Like my mom said, that is their business. Let that be their business. And you sit in yours. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, Sai, shut up. Like, Sai thinks she's in charge of the girls because maybe it's like this is her trip, but her always trying to like dictate stuff is off putting after a while, because it's like, one, you're not a friend to anybody really in this group. Maybe Erin. I thought you, and maybe Bryn. Maybe. But we see how that ends probably by the end of next episode, because I think that might be the last episode of the season. But it's just kind of like, girl, you're not the anchor of the group. You thought you was gonna be that girl, but you're not. You're not. Bow out, sis. You got Jenna telling this story about how Uba can flip a switch, and that made me start to side-eye Jenna, because I'm like, why all of a sudden are we trying to, what's the word? Trying so hard to prove your allegiance to Erin, being like, I'm team Erin. I'm team Erin. And that one time, like, I invited Uba over, and like, she totally like she flipped out, like she flipped the switch on me. And pretty much what happened was Jenna had invited the ladies over. Uba was under the impression that it was just going to be them hanging out, and then when she got there she saw the cameras and she was like, girl, next time give me a heads up. And I didn't have a problem with what Uba said. Even in the flashback, it didn't even look like Uba had an attitude. It was just like, girl, next time I please give me a heads up. Like, because that's the thing. We know Uba is a model. Like, her body, her face is a walking advertisement. So she has to always, probably be looking a certain way. But also, even if Uba was just a regular person and not in the fashion industry, I would still want a heads up. If it was like, it's like me when I'm with my friends. If it's somebody over there that they gonna invite that I might like, yeah, I'm gonna put an effort into my outfit. But if it's just me and my friends kicking it and we about to watch TV, eat some, like, eat and stuff like that, then I'm probably going over there with a hoodie with no bra on and some sweat shorts and some Crocs and some socks. And maybe my hair gonna be looking some type of way with a hat on or in a puff. Like, people just want the heads up. But it felt odd for Jenna to tell this story, and it just was like, why are you telling this story now, trying to corroborate Erin or trying to prove that Uba just has this switch in her? And it was just like, okay, Jenna, I see you. So they're sitting at the table. Uba starts talking about how Americans are weird, where it's like somebody will poke you in the butt or something with a fork. I really didn't understand. What I got from it was Uba saying that, like, Americans want to like apologize, so like want to move on so quickly and not allow people to like kind of sit in their emotions or in their anger, and basically saying that Erin wants like it to be over, but it's like, I'm not ready for it to be over, and she's the one who wronged me. That's what I kind of got from what Uba was saying. And so Erin gets upset. She's like, you know what? I'm not sitting at the table anymore. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. Like, just don't talk about me when I'm gone. Just don't talk about me when I'm gone. So Sai is trying to get Erin to calm down. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed when Uba told Erin bye. Because I probably would have said that. So Erin gets into the little car, and I guess a production or whoever drives her back to the villa. So they're sitting at the table. They're like, Uba, you're so, like, where's Uba, loving light Uba? Not Uba with all this, like, this aggression. And Bryn tries to, like, interject. And Uba kind of tells Bryn, girl, you can get away with a lot more stuff than I can because you look white. Like, don't play with me, girl. You may be half black, but let's not act like you don't have privilege to be able to do things. And then they start getting on the topic about the angry black woman topic. And here's the thing. Two things can be true. Uba was definitely wrong for putting her hands on for putting her hands, like snatching them glasses off of Erin's face. Like, she had no right to do that. So, like, I will stand on the fact, like, girl, you crossed the line there. And whatever happened, if Erin would have popped you, it would have been what it would have been. It would have been what it would have been. But in a sense, they're kind of playing into that trope, trying to police Ubah's feelings, trying to tell her she's not like she's doing too much. When I guarantee you, if the roles were reversed and Ubah had Erin's phone for 45 minutes, because they keep complaining about Ubah constantly talking about it, but Erin brought up the whole cheese plate thing for 2 episodes and was really upset about what's it called, saying Erin holds on to things. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like Erin does not hold on to things. We've seen her hold on to things. She was mad at Sai and Bryn, mainly Bryn, about not going to eat at Cipriani's with them, as well as the whole cheese plate thing with Sai. It's like Erin holds on to things. She does. So, and her being mad at Sai about leaving without saying goodbye, like, was it rude of Sai? Yeah, but like the way Erin went about it, it was just like, girl, you made it worse. So we're not gonna act like Ubah harping on this is so out, like, it was just annoying because it did start to feel like y'all are trying to police how she feels about this. And granted, she doing a lot, but she's allowed to feel this way. I don't care. So Bryn basically told Ubah, like, you were probably 100% right, but the way that you went about it makes you wrong. And for some people, that's true. Like, some people will say, like, it's not how you say it, it's the way you say it. It's like the tone in which you say it. It gets you a different reaction. And Ubah seemed to be receptive to it. So they all piled back into the little beach cars. And while they're in the cars, Bryn basically lets us know that Erin calls Jessel the dummy of the group. And so that pisses Jessel off. And Jessel's like, are you for real? And she's like, you know what? I've been keeping a list about her. And pretty much what Jessel does, I do too, but I don't write it out. I keep a mental note. Like, this mind is like an elephant. Especially if I feel like you slighted me in any way. Oh, I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember, all right? So, and Jessel just going down all the times that they've had confrontations and how pretty much Erin is nobody's, like, no one to befriend, and you can kind of tell that Jessel don't see it for Erin. So as they're driving, you can hear the girls telling the other girls in the car that, like, Jessel is like Al Capone. She got a list on the girls. Sai is like, oh my God, I'm trying to like not fan the flames, but I'm trying to like put out this fire. Now Jessel's upset with Erin, and Bryn's fanning the flames because she's drunk. Ubah also, Erin ends up calling her dad on the phone, and she pretty much gives half the story, telling her dad that, like, she only had Ubah's phone for 2 minutes. I said, girl, no, you didn't. You should have told the whole truth. The dad gave good advice, pretty much like, don't feed into it. Like, you know, basic stuff parents will say, don't fight, don't feed into it. You know who you are. Walk with pride and dignity, yada, yada, yada. She crying on the phone, and we move on. So the girls finally get back to the house, and Erin sees Ubah. She tells Ubah, come here. And I was with Ubah. Ubah said, girl, you better talk to me nicely. Honestly, if I'm already in a battle with you, like, we're not cool, and you come at me and be like, come here, I'd have been like, bitch, don't talk to me. I would have laughed in your face and went up the stairs and been like, I am not your child, nor am I a dog. Girl, get out my face. Get out my face. But what's her name? Erin says, please, and Ubah comes outside. While they're outside, they're trying to have this conversation. Erin is trying to explain to Ubah how, like, the way she's been treating her is not okay. Ubah kind of keeps cutting Erin off, not really letting Erin speak, because Ubah wants to prove her point, like, girl, what you did was messed up. But then she basically lessens her argument because she can't find her phone. Her phone ends up being in one of the cars, and it kind of, like, diminishes Ubah's point about how she is so glued to her phone and how her phone is important, when, like, ma'am, you lost it again. Like, you're not being very, you're not keeping up with this, but this is what we're fighting over. So Uba wants to show Erin her phone, I guess probably to prove to her like the text messages from her family about her checking in. Erin is not into it. She's just like, no, Uba, let's finish this conversation. And Uba's telling her, don't rush me. Like, we can have this conversation when I get my phone. And Erin's like, I really don't want to have this conversation when you get your phone. I want to have it now. And Uba's just like, okay, you know what? We done. We don't have to have this conversation. So Erin gets upset. She's frustrated and she goes into the room to put on her swimsuit. Everybody else gets in the pool. Jessel gets in the pool. She's on her phone. Sai and Bryn are listening to Uba and Erin fight all on the balcony. Bryn ends up getting Uba's phone from the car, and they're just outside at the pool chilling. Jenna's nowhere to be found. She's working on a project. And then this is when I got irritated. I just got irritated at this point. So everybody is in the hot tub except Jenna because she's working on a project. And like I said, I got irritated because pretty much everyone starts to state their grievances with Erin. Like Jessel's like, you always telling everybody to be accountable, but you're not accountable. Then Brent talks about how, like, girl, y'all are fighting over a prank and a phone, but I was called basically a slut and a home wrecker. And Erin's like, I didn't call you a slut, Bryn. And Bryn is just kind of like, well, you implied it, like I wanted your man. And then Erin's like, don't let her get in your head. And Uba's like, girl, don't bring me up. And she's like, Erin's like, I'm not talking to you, Uba. And Uba's like, and so then everyone just start like Uba starts to like, go at Erin. Erin gets so frustrated and she's like, shut up, and calls Uba the B word. And Uba's like, girl, don't be mad because everyone's coming at you, because Bryn and Jessel started to get at Erin. And then Erin's like, Bryn, don't go there with me. And Bryn's like, don't go there with me because I know you don't want this, pretty much. And she took off them glasses like, do you want to go there with me? I said, oh, Bryn basically told Erin, you don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke. You think you want this smoke, but you don't want this smoke. And so all of a sudden, this is when I got so irritated. Erin starts crying. She's like, y'all are abusing me. No one's abusing you. People are calling you out for how you've been a pot stirrer in this group since the beginning of the season. And the fact that you crumbled so fast is so pathetic. Like, ma'am, you've been coming at everybody. And now that everyone is like coming at you, all of a sudden, y'all are abusing me. No one's abusing you. I was like, after that, like, y'all, I checked out. I can't do it. I'm not equipped for when these types of women cry when they cause so much chaos. And Erin has caused so much chaos. And it's like, now you're crying because everybody is like mad at you? Girl, what? So then you see Uba and Bryn go console her. I was proud of Jessel. Jessel was just looking at her. Sai was like, this is a lot. But you weren't trying to stop it. So clearly you were entertained. So then we see Uba and what's her name? Uba and Erin talk. They hash it out. They apologize to each other. They said they're friends now. And then everyone gets ready because it's the last night in Anguilla. They all come down and sit down at the table and eat for dinner. They're like ranking each other's outfits. And that basically was the end of the episode. I forgot to talk about Bryn. Bryn brings up her mom, not her mom, her grandmother. And pretty much Bryn was wanted to be a doctor, but her grandma basically told her, girl, you don't go to college to become a doctor. You go to college to marry a doctor. And guessing how old Bryn's but grandmother was and what time period she came from, that kind of statement to me isn't really shocking. It is kind of sucked that she failed organic chemistry because organic chemistry is the devil. Whoever like is the people that like it, something is wrong with you. But she failed organic chemistry, had a breakdown, and was just like, you know what, this pre-med is not my thing. So now she does PR and all of that stuff. But yeah, a lot of people were surprised about that comment. But like, Bryn is 36 or 37. Her grandmother was probably born in the 40s or the 30s. So like that kind of rhetoric I would see from her. But yeah, the episode ended. They were talking about this was like the best girls trip. This was an amazing girls trip. No, it wasn't. It was lame. It was so lame. Like I said, it was a therapy session. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic.